Hi friends, welcome back to the channel. My name is Nina, and on screen here is Aramis. He's with me now, so if you hear any cat noises, that's him. If you're new to my channel, then I welcome you. I do encourage you to watch the first video so that you can see who we are and also my whip parade for this year. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. You don't know how much it means to me to have friends coming back to visit my channel. It makes all of this very worth it. Today's video, we're going to be discussing my July progress or lack of progress and my August plans. And of course, the last segment is projects from the past. We're still in 2019. That year was a huge year for me. I had a 25-year hiatus from cross-stitching, and when I came back, I started all the things. I stitched like a crazy maniac. So that's why I have a lot of projects to show you from 2019. And today I'll be showing you some Halloween pieces. So let's get started. The first thing I wanted to show you was the fully finished version of July. This is the Cottage of the Month series from Country Cottage Needleworks. As you know, if you've been watching my channel, I've been working on these for the calendar each month, trying to get one or two done. I had hoped to get September and October done in July, but that just didn't happen. So I just wanted to show you what the end result looked like. So if you've been with me since January, that's when I started this channel, then you know that I've been participating in a monthly SAL or stitch along. And mine happens to be the Bookshelf's Daily Temperature Blackwork by Peppermint Purple. Now, I always start all my videos off with this to show you the whole entire month's progress of my temperature in the area where I live. Now, I live in southern Indiana, and if you live in the Midwest, then you know summers are pretty much humid, hot, but the temperature doesn't really fluctuate all that much. I mean, storms will come in and the temperature will drop for a day or so, and then it'll go back up. As you can see, in July, the temperature stayed pretty consistent, and at the very end of July, we had a little bit of a heat spike. I think the whole entire United States was actually dealing with that. So this is done on a 20 count white Aida. I have recorded the highs of my area. The flosses that I'm using is the called for DMC as well as Victorian Motto. Next up, I have 4 Elements. This is also a stitch along. This pattern is by Satsuma Street. I had originally seen this on Helen D's channel, and I absolutely loved it, and I just had to have it. I ordered it directly from Satsuma Street's website. Now, this is done on some black 20 count Aida. I'm also using the called for Cosmo threads, and I absolutely love the vibrancy of the color of Cosmo threads. Now, as you can see here, this is where I was at last time. Now I've finished the entire earth section, and I started working on air. So I have just the very top of the clouds is where the pattern starts. And then the bottom of the pattern is water. And I really want to get to the water section because that is by far my favorite. But I kind of needed to know if I had enough space on the canvas. Lately, I've been cutting my fabric just a little bit too short, and I was afraid I had done that again. But it turned out okay. Next, my major focus for July was Cozy Cove by Dimensions. This is where I was at the beginning of the month. And a nice close-up. And here I am where I left off at the end of the month. As you can see, I've worked all along the bottom. I've gotten another roof done. I did the pasture in the background. I absolutely love this piece. It does take some time. It is definitely not difficult, but with Dimensions, the way they make their projects pop is they use different counts of thread. to make texture, and they also do two different colors mixed together it's called blending, obviously, to make, shading and everything. I think these are just fantastic. This is done on the 18 count Aida that it came with in the color ivory, and I'm also using all the threads that came in the kit. And here's the zoomed out view so you can see all of it in its glory. Now, granted, I did not do any of the back stitching yet. I'm kind of old school. I like to leave back stitching for last. No, it doesn't bother me. I kind of find it easy and fun. Also, I had one finish for July, which is the cottage of the month, August. Here it is, fully finished. And here's a photo of what it looks like in the calendar. So all of these are done on a 28 count Lugana in the color Whisper. I did the cording myself according to the tutorial that Vonna the Twisted Stitcher has on her YouTube channel. All of these are mounted on a piece of foam core, and then I use a metal washer on the back that I just tape with double-sided tape so that it sticks to the magnet that's inside the calendar. And finally, in July, I wanted to share with you real quickly why I didn't get a lot of stitching done. Don't worry, this isn't going to be a long segment for those of you who don't really enjoy anything but stitching. But I purchased this kit, the Tula Nova kit, a couple of years ago, I think, when I first got into quilting. And I wanted to try my hand at English paper piecing, or as most people know it as EPP. These are the acrylic templates that you can purchase. Now, you don't have to purchase the templates. You can take the pieces of paper and cut around them and leave a 1/4 of an inch or 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. But in my opinion, it is so much easier just to spend the money on the template and then cut out all your fabric with the templates. You can always reuse the templates at another time. You don't just need to use them just specifically for this particular quilt. And now what I absolutely love about Tula Pink is the amount of color she uses and the vibrancy of the colors. And I do realize that not everybody likes that. And my normal palette is usually pretty muted. I enjoy a lot of Civil War fabrics. Muted colors, maroons, the darker grays and things like that, the blues. Blue is my favorite color. However, there's something about her fabric that just really draws me in, especially her vibrant yellows and the blues and purples that she uses. As you can see here, here are some of the completed stars that I've been working on. Now, all of this is really new to me. I did practice on a few hexagons a while back, and I thought, okay, it's not too bad. I do have a love-hate relationship with sharp needles. I do prefer the tapestry needle that we use in cross-stitching because I don't wound myself as much. Also, I quickly just wanted to show you how I store all the pieces that have already been basted. I like to use the glue basting method versus just the thread basting. To me, glue basting is a lot faster. I use the water-soluble glue pen from Soline and their glue, the replacement glue sticks that come with it. I have been working on this for about an hour to 2 hours every day, and I'm making a slow progress. If you guys are interested in seeing my progress, I would love to show it to you in a future video. Leave me a comment below if you are interested. I'm excited to see how this will look once I get more shapes put together. So as for August plans, I plan to get September and October done for the Cottages of the Month series for my little wooden calendar. I want to continue working on the Four Elements stitch along, Sal. I also hope to get back to Cozy Cove, and I really want to get that one finished. Then, of course, the Temperature Bookshelf is always ongoing. I work on that every Sunday. And now I also have an hour or so that I would like to work on the Tula Nova quilt. And somewhere in between there, I also like to read before I go to bed. So there's an hour of reading, and then, of course, husband and kitties. And I don't even know how I'm going to get it all done. But hopefully I'll get something done so that you'll have something to watch in the next video. Let's move on to the last segment. Okay, so this is Projects from the Past 2019, and these are my Halloween pieces. Yes, I know it's a little early for Halloween. First up is Cats on Parade. This is a Blackbird design pattern. The linen that I'm using is a 40 count linen from Color and Cotton, and the color they named it was Pumpkin Souffle. The thread that I'm using is a black silk that I got from Silks for You. They had an Etsy shop, and they are from Australia, so it does take them a little bit to get to you because of the shipping. But I bought a whole hank of black silk, and it was reasonably priced, and that's what I chose to do for this. Now I do all my framing. This frame is Frames by Mail, and I use Theresa Kitten Stitcher's tutorial on how to frame for all my pieces. Now they actually made this into a drum on the original design, but I did not want to do that. I just went ahead and left it flat. And next up we have Away We Ride. Now this is one of my most favorite patterns from Blackbird Designs. This is done on a 40 count Zweigart linen, and the color is Woodland. Now, I don't know that you can get Woodland anymore. It was one of my favorites. I do have a few pieces that are on it, but I don't think that you can get that color anymore. The threads that I used are the called for overdyed. This frame is the exact same frame style, model, whatever, from Frames by Mail that I used for the Cats on Parade. It was my go-to frame for all of my Halloween pieces on my Halloween wall. However, they no longer carry this particular style, so I'm going to have to try and figure something out. I do want to show this a little bit closer here real quick. And finally, the last piece that I wanted to share with you this time is a piece that my friend Connie, that I went to school with her, and we've known each other for a really long time. And when I first got back into cross stitching, she was the reason that I did. She did this one for me. It is the Halloween Cat by Satsuma Street. It is done on a 14 count Aida, and I think it's oatmeal, the color oatmeal, and she used all of the called for DMC. This is such a wonderful piece. I absolutely cherish it, and I cherish our friendship, and I absolutely love that I have this on my wall, and now I'm sharing it with you. I will leave you with a photo of what my Halloween wall looks like currently. Now, I do have several other pieces that are waiting to be framed, but I have so many pieces that I need to get framed. I just don't know where to begin. Anyway, I would like to thank you all for joining me once again. It really means a lot to me. Please like and subscribe, share my channel with your friends. If I ever get to 100 subscribers, maybe we'll have a giveaway or something fun.